invitation precedes you.
I have to admit, I wasn't expecting an invitation back.
They're called orders, Maverick.
Tom Cruise has become an absolute madman in his middle age when it comes to shooting things practically. And I mean that as a compliment if it didn't come across. How baked into the creation of this one was that he'd try things he'd never attempted before, that he'd do the aerial work? Was that sort of part of your agreement with him from the get-go?
Absolutely. I mean, Tom's a licensed pilot. He flies aerobatics. He loves aviation. I do as well. When we first started talking about it, it was absolutely had to be captured practically. I had seen these videos that Navy pilots were putting up on YouTube from inside their cockpits with like a little GoPro camera, and they were just better than anything I'd seen in a film. And I was like, Tom, this is on the internet for free. Like, we have to exceed this if we're gonna make this movie, and he agreed. So then it began this 15-month process, working very closely with the Navy to figure out how to get 6 IMAX cameras into the cockpit of a Super Hornet and how to capture all the aerial sequences in this film for real.
Yeah, Tom wanted to be a love letter to aviation. That was his design on the movie. He wanted to be authentic and real and do as much flying as possible. Joe and Tom designed all the training for the pilots. On the first movie, every actor threw up, except for Tom. We couldn't use a frame of the footage that we filmed inside the F-14, except for some from Tom. But this time it's real. This time they actually got him in the F-18s. They trained him for 3 months so they could handle the G-forces. 1 G-force is your body weight. They were handling 7 times their body weight. So to be able to remember where the light is, remember to turn the camera, and then remember what your lines are, it was a Herculean task for our actors. They were soaking wet when they came down on the ground. It's really very, very difficult to be in these airplanes, especially handling those kind of G-forces.
One of the most emotional moments in the movie comes when Val Kilmer shows up reprising Iceman, especially considering all that Val has been through in recent years. How emotional was that on set?
It was very difficult for me anyway to know Val when he was in his early 20s, and now coming back, he's a consummate professional. He works so hard. He's a brilliant actor, and you can see it in his performance in this movie. It's really heartfelt for me, and I think for audiences too.
The story involves a fighter jet mission to destroy an enemy's uranium stockpile, but we never know who or where that enemy is, even though we go there, which is really interesting because we're so used to movies sort of zeroing in on a country like Russia or a region like the Middle East or Latin America. What drove the decision to make them anonymous?
Well, we kind of did the same thing in the first one. You really didn't know who the adversary was. This is a character study. This is a story about characters going through this journey together and the evolution of Maverick in this film. So that was what was important to all of us, and was really important for Tom because he wanted to make a movie about the love of aviation and what characters go through and what these fighter pilots go through. When we made the first movie, the Navy wasn't exactly embracing us. This time, the Navy really embraced us. They saw their recruiting go up 500% after the first movie came out. They're a terrific organization. They're so professional. The pilots were fantastic. Everybody we worked with. Joe was on the carrier with all these 5,000 men and women, and they couldn't have helped us more.
One of my very favorite moments in the movie comes when the guys play football on the beach. Absolutely sublime nod to the volleyball scene from '86. Of course, at this point, it's stuff of legend. Was there ever any doubt you had to pay homage to it and do it with the wink you guys do here?
It was one of those things that I got asked about the most when I was starting this. I was like, there's no way we're not going to do it. The question is, how do we fold this sequence into the story? How do we make it necessary to our storytelling so that we're not just doing it for the sake of doing it? One of those days on set I'll never forget. The actors put so much work in to get prepared for it, obviously, as you see on screen, and we just had a great time doing it.
Captain Pete Maverick Mitchell, you were here at the request of Iceman. He seems to think that you have something left to offer the Navy.
With all due respect, sir, I'm not a teacher. Just want to manage expectations.
What the hell? Good morning, aviators. This is your captain speaking.
I intend to push your limits. Show me what you're made of.
Nice.
Having any fun yet?
Top Gun Maverick. New trailer online now.